What's up everyone, it's Scotty with MoneyVest. So in today's video, wanted to discuss SOFI, Palantir, NIO, and one more stock, which is going to be, again, kind of fits that category for speculative stocks. But at the same time, a lot of these companies are actually turning the corner towards profitability. So I am very excited for a lot of these companies because at the end of the day, profitability is what really matters. And as they become gap profitable companies, a lot of influx of investors is going to come in, especially from Wall Street and institutional investors, because that's really what they look for. At the end of the day, everything that we talk about, everything that we discuss, not only us, everybody who discusses about the market, whether it's everybody that you watch on CNBC or very famous investors or traders or anybody on YouTube, at the end of the day, whatever we discuss comes down to one single thing, which is the bottom line. Okay, that's the earnings per share. And if you think about it, logically speaking, everything affects the bottom line. Recession, inflation, interest rates, volatility, market momentum, valuations, fundamentals, everything affects the bottom line, which is earnings per share. And if that's actually growing and doing well, everything's going to be fine. The moment earnings get hit, the moment earnings start decreasing or start coming down, then of course it is a much bigger problem. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, find it helpful, make sure that you drop a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The link's going to be down below if you're interested in joining us. Of course, getting access to all the members only private videos. You will be able to access all the spreadsheets, including our volatility spreadsheet, S&P 500. Now everything's going to be moving over to the moneyvest.com platform. Discord access also available with our trade alerts and trade ideas, as well as members only private videos. You can unlock over 46 members only private videos with the link down below. And also do connect with me on Instagram as well. My handle is going to be CASWRP. So starting with SOFI, and SOFI has obviously been on very much of a roller coaster ride. It has been selling off from highs of well over $28, $29. So this right here was originally a triple top resistance. We kind of consolidated sideways from those levels before finally seeing a big breakdown here. This was the entire sell-off from $25 down to low $4, and this right here, lots of consolidation sideways in that range with the support level sitting roughly around $4.15. Couple times getting rejected here at this resistance for SOFI in the $7.91 to $8 a share, which eventually turned into a support. We broke out to new resistances at roughly around $11, which was again a previous support level to watch, which is indeed still a very strong resistance to watch for SOFI. And then, of course, trading inside this downtrending channel of lower highs and lower lows, then a very, very massive recovery, selling right back down, pushing higher, selling right back down, then pushing back higher. And right now, once again, a very, very important resistance here at roughly around $10. $10, very important resistance. If it does end up, let's say, breaking out, the next target and resistance is going to be at $13.75 to $14 per share, and a very strong area of support here in the $7.91 to as low as $6.51 area for SOFI. Now, this is a company that has reported profitability. So you can see first quarter ever, SOFI reported net income of just under $48 million with a net margin of about 5.5%. So this is a company that, once again, is reporting some gap profitability here, which is very rare to see from companies, especially when they are just getting started. They've only been in business for a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years. Like I said before, profitability, cash flows, and revenues, everything depends on fundamentals. If the company has sustainability, long-term viability, only then it is going to be successful. Otherwise, there is not going to be any business for us to invest in long-term. So that's why it is really, really important to look at profitability. So next target and resistance is going to be at $10. If you take a look at the RSI and the MACD, it still looks somewhat decent at the moment, but RSI definitely getting up to that level of overbought here. And like I said, there is a big resistance inside this red rectangle sitting between 975 to as much as 1070 for SOFI. And of course, one of the best prices to be looking at for SOFI is going to be here in the low $4. If you find yourself in an opportunity to pick up shares in the low $4s, in my opinion, that is one of the best deals out there in the market, but I doubt that SOFI is going to get down to that level. That would require, once again, a 40 to 50% sell-off from its current levels. So the lowest I could see it get down to is going to be 651 with a near-term target up to 1025, and a breakout could put us on the map to getting up to almost $14 per share. Talking about Palantir, and Palantir has been one of the best performing stocks in the last 1 year. So you'll notice year to date, the stock's already up 44%. In the last 1 year, the stock's up over 200% as well. And from its lows of $6, it is up 300%. Very similar to SOFI, it has now finally achieved profitability, where if you take a look at the last several quarters, it has been able to report some very nice profitability here, and 2023 was indeed a profitable year with a 9% margin and $209 million in net income. And it's basically back to the same levels as we witnessed back in 2021. So, of course, this right here was the entire sell-off year for Palantir based on valuation, based on a lot of concerns that is the business actually going to be profitable ever. Kind of hung out in these levels, missed a lot of earnings around that time, consolidated sideways before finally seeing a bigger breakout. Consolidated sideways here in that range between $14 and $21 per share. So it's basically trading sideways in that range for some time before finally breaking out of that level. And now the next target and resistance is going to be at $29 per share, with a very, very important support level and an area of demand sitting roughly at $19.45 to as much as $20 per share for Palantir. Resistance and targets up to $29 per share right now. And right now, RSI MACD, once again, consolidating sideways. So support level is going to be at 19, closer to $20. Resistance up to $29 per share. It's kind of in the middle of that range. If it does end up, let's say, selling off a little bit over 18-20%, comes down to low 20s, that would be a good pricing point. That would be a good area to start going long once again for Palantir from a technical basis. Of course, from a fundamental basis, we want it as cheap as possible. The lower the better. And that's going to be in the low 14s for Palantir. This would be a much stronger area of demand, and I would be buying shares in the low 14s once again for Palantir, because the valuation would be a lot better for the company. But target and resistance stays put at $29 per share. Now, when it comes to NIO is still struggling, finding it really difficult to find any type of momentum to the upside. Still very much in the context of this overall downtrend of lower highs and lower lows. So it's just been selling off. We did see a breakout from this falling wedge pattern for NIO. A very, very nice breakout to the upside. Resistance at $16.50, $17 per share. And of course, it eventually sold off pretty aggressively, pushed higher a little bit up to $9.50 to $10, sold off even further, and pretty much trading at 52-week highs at the moment. 560, 550, very, very important levels of support for NIO. But as I've said before, NIO is the only one that is still struggling with profitability, and I doubt that this is going to become profitable anytime soon. You see the difference here? You see a very clear, stark difference between SOFI, Palantir, and NIO. Those two companies achieved profitability. They were able to turn the business around, and look what happened to the stock prices. Look how the markets responded to their companies and their price actions, as opposed to NIO, which is still struggling with profitability, which is still finding it very difficult to even achieve any type of operating profitability, let alone net income. And look at the price, trading almost at new 52-week lows, down under 2.6%, low $5. So it's going to be very difficult for NIO to find any type of momentum, any type of consistent growth here. And resistance is going to be at $7.30 to as much as $9.50 to as much as $10.49, $10.50 for NIO as well. And finally, we come over to Robinhood, in other words, Hood. And Hood here has also seen a very, very massive momentum to the upside. If you come over to quarterly numbers, again, they are somewhat reporting some profitability with some decent 5 to 6% margins. And again, this is what Wall Street wants. This is what Wall Street really cares about, is bottom line earnings. And Robinhood, of course, the IPO time, was super hyped up, highs of $84, dropped over 92%, consolidated sideways in this range for the longest period. So this right here, resistance, support level here, so 775, 780, very strong support with a resistance at 1625, 1630, mostly been consolidating sideways in that range. And of course, right now coming up to that resistance here, once again, that's going to be sitting roughly at 1625 for Robinhood. Although I will mention that it is incredibly overbought now with the RSI well over 81, so is the MACD. So the probability for us to see more potential upside is low for Robinhood. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does see a little bit of a pullback, and support level is going to stick put at 1325, 1330 for Robinhood moving forward. So that is going to be the level to keep in mind. Of course, 775 is going to be a much stronger, much better, much crazy level of demand for Robinhood at these prices. So that is going to be a no-brainer potential long trade opportunity at those levels for Robinhood. So hope you all enjoyed this video and a complete technical analysis on 4 of these most popular stocks. Let me know if you want to add any more companies to this type of analysis, and I'd be more than happy to cover them in this video. As always, make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Again, links to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining us. And as always, happy investing, and I'll see you all in the next video.